Present a written argument or case to an educated reader with no specialist knowledge of the following topic. Improvements in health, education, and trade are essential for the development of poorer nations. However, the governments of richer nations should take more responsibility for helping the poorer nations in such areas. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? You should use your own ideas, knowledge, and experience and support your arguments with examples and relevant evidence.
The development of poorer nations depends significantly on improvements in health, education, and trade. While these countries must take responsibility for their progress, I strongly believe that richer nations should play a more active role in supporting them. Economic disparities, historical factors, and global interdependence make it essential for wealthier governments to contribute towards the development of underprivileged regions. One key reason for this is the historical impact of colonialism and economic exploitation, which has left many developing countries in a state of poverty. Many wealthy nations accumulated their wealth by extracting resources from poorer regions, leaving them with fragile economies and inadequate infrastructure. Given this history, it is fair to argue that richer nations have a moral obligation to assist in rebuilding and modernizing these countries. Moreover, improving global health, education, and trade benefits not only developing nations, but also the world economy as a whole. For example, international cooperation in healthcare can prevent the spread of diseases, as seen during the COVID-19 pandemic. Similarly, investing in education in poorer countries can lead to a more skilled workforce, which can drive innovation and economic growth. Trade assistance, such as fair trade policies and reduced tariffs, allows developing nations to compete in the global market, ultimately benefiting all parties involved. On the other hand, some argue that financial aid and assistance can lead to dependency. However, this issue can be addressed by focusing on sustainable development projects rather than direct financial support. For instance, instead of providing continuous aid, wealthier nations can invest in skill-building programs, healthcare infrastructure, and trade partnerships that empower poorer nations to become self-sufficient. In conclusion, while poorer nations must take charge of their progress, richer nations should take more responsibility in supporting them, given historical injustices and global interconnectedness. By fostering sustainable development rather than dependency, both developing and developed nations can work together toward a more balanced and prosperous world.